We're artists, and we're here to do it our way. So do your thing, little mama.
Hey, you guys, how you doing? Assalamu alaikum. Say her name. Rahmatullahi barakatuh. Say her name. Say her name.
Nia Wilson.
Say her name so everyone can hear us. Say her name.
Nia Wilson.
You know, who said the quote that the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected person in this world is a what? A black woman. Who quoted that? That was 55 years ago. Can we say that's still happening today? What we have right now, possession in the town, is an example how we are not going to let another black woman get killed in front of all of us and just walk away and just say, oh no, it doesn't matter. They say, what is a protest for? A protest is to let them know that they cannot silence this story. We shut down things so they pay attention to us because they're not going to report it. They didn't wait to release that dude's picture until when? A white supremacist when? The next day. So he got caught. He transferred at BART while we were protesting. We all know that, right? That's psychopathic. That's white supremacy coming to see the damage that he had done. And then got arrested on the BART. They say the police sheriff said, oh, we ain't never, peacefully, exactly, we ain't never seen a homicide on the BART, so we don't know how to respond. This is rare. Do we not know who Oscar Grant is? Is there not a Fruitvale Station movie out to show what the police did? A murder? And what is that doing for our psychology when we are continuously seeing unarmed, innocent black people killed? What is that doing for us but putting us down? Putting us in a defeated attitude. Now, they say we posted this picture because she had a gun. Where was that gun at when she was getting stabbed?
Hello?
Where was that gun at when she needed it? Wow. And last time I checked, we in America, Second Amendment rights. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now you have this dude with gold teeth. Right. This white man with gold teeth, and they're trying to say he got gold teeth so he ain't racist. Right. He a wigger, so he ain't racist. Like, this stuff doesn't all correlate. And right now we have in our hands to show the entire world, just like they did Mike Brown, Yvette Henderson in Emeryville. We have the power right now to show that Oakland is not about to go down quietly. Say her name.
Nia Wilson.
Say her name.
Nia Wilson.
And the other day, I just want to say real quickly, I had spoke at the other protest we did, and I had asked all the women in the audience, is there any women out here, black women, brown women, all of us, who's ever felt disrespected? Who's ever felt unprotected? Who has ever been called a bitch? Raise your hand. And I'm not talking about by another female. Who has ever been called a hoe? Now, brothers, everybody in this audience, we need to look at this because we are dependent on you. Right now, I know there's a gender war and men against women, but when you have all of these women in the audience that have said that they have been disrespected by one of you, you need to realize you can't disrespect us and unprotect us and neglect us while somebody is going to get killed by a white man on the BART. They are already killing, unprotecting, and disrespecting us. Why add to it? Why? So music, hip-hop, you hearing all these bitches and hoes and the thoughts. Change it up. Don't listen to that because it's programming you. Everybody in here with children, it's programming your children at a young age. Young black girls don't feel confident about themselves. Young black women do not feel comfortable even expressing that they're smart. They're just trying to go with the trends. It's popular to be a thought. It's popular to be, you know, unprotected, unmodest. We need to teach our babies because at the end of the day, they have the message that's going to change the world. And we are living in a time where, unfortunately, we have seen Nia Wilsons a lot. There is a lot of black women killed. Yearly, thousands. Right now in America, there are 75,000 black women missing. Missing. Where's the news? KTVU, they know that there is ethics to journalism. The brother, the dude, excuse me, who put that up needs to be fired. Whoever put that up needs to be fired. They went against all ethics. I went to school for journalism. I graduated with broadcasting and media. I know that if I was to do that in school, I would have been expelled. They need to be removed. They went against all moral code of journalism while they were going to protect somebody else and vilify this black woman who didn't do anything and screamed her sister's name for help. That's how she was dying. Just telling her sister. And imagine if somebody came attacking you with somebody, you screaming, oh my God, hello, do you see this? So we have to really let this resonate with us. This is our sister. This is our family. This is not just another hashtag, y'all. This is not just somebody on video that we seen got executed in front of the world, so therefore, we just here. We have to really internalize this, because it could have been me. It could have been you. It could have been your sister. It could have been your mama. And every sister who raised your hand out here who was called out of your name and disrespected, talked about, belittled, slandered, every single sister out here, brothers, you need to recognize you all came from a mother. And I'm not saying the brothers out here specifically are out here disrespecting and calling the women out of their names, but the brothers you know, the music you listen to, y'all all came from a mama. Why? What is disrespecting a woman doing for you? Nothing. So say her name.
Nia Wilson.
Say her name.
Nia Wilson.
I'm going to share a little piece for you guys called Who Ready? And I wrote this song in inspiration just to keep us uplifted out here in these streets. Who ready? We was born to be ready. Put your fist up. Tell them you the real revolutionary. Because when the time come, who ready to ride? Or is you going to be sitting there on the sidelines? Who ready? Y'all don't sound ready. Who ready?
We ready.
Fasting in these hard times, living my rhymes, trying to envision a better picture, division divides, blinded by minuscule differences. Yo, it's fact over opinion. Switching your common sense just so you can fit in. Now you get it, chilling with sinners, and you don't handle your business. You try to blend with the trend. No matter who you offend, you're disrespecting our women. You cashing checks just to benefit effects to our mental. But who gave them credentials? We coming through to take that, cut the fakeness. Ain't no way that music can be used as a tool to abuse us. Time to wake up, re-up on your lyrics, cause if you go with the flow, then you're part of the gimmick. Nah, we don't feel it, they scripted, they images shifted, and now they lifestyle slipping. Admit it, they ain't even submitting to the realers, did it all for the skrilla, now we all in the building. We keep it all the way 100. If you really knew us, then you know we never frontin', coming to you like a warner with the most time in my corner, call me elephant in the room like a drone. Kosher, never alone, Allah is here, never can I conquer the throne, one God, one fear. New chains, slavery gains, 400 years of pain, they just trying to kill us like we coring gains. Say her name!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I say. That's what's up. We got open hands. Is open hands here? Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. I already know. Oh, it's going down. Y'all better get your cameras out for this one. This history right here. History in the making.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out here today. Let's say her name one more time. Nia Wilson.
Nia Wilson!
Okay, so I'm not going to belabor the point, but there's a couple of quick points that I want to make. Is that there's been some talk about whether or not this man that murdered Nia Wilson was a racist or whether it was a racialized attack or not. This is absurd in this stage of history. I looked online last night and I found out that there's only 12% of the BART riders are black. That twice as many, like Asian and Pacific Islanders, 23% Asian and Pacific Islanders on BART. 44% of the people that ride BART are white. Okay? When this white boy walked up and murdered our children, murdered our child like that, Sister Nia Wilson, he had a specific plan in mind. He went off and then he changed his clothes afterwards. He knew he had done wrong and he picked someone out. We can tell by the demographics of BART how he picked people out. And I believe it was two more sisters that identified him at the other station, right? Somebody else had identified him. So he was about to do the same thing. All right, so he's picking people out. So it's not a false dichotomy between whether he was insane or whether he was a racist. We who think in African-centered thinking know that it's both and. Both what? He's both insane and he's a racist. It was both of them things, right? Okay? What's the and? The and is when the rest of society follows suit with him, where they become his ally, like KTVU Channel 2. Who do they dehumanize? Our children. That's what that kind of image is. When they say they're criminalizing you, that's what they're doing. They're dehumanizing you, right? Okay? And so when we think about what the definition of a sociopath is a white boy walking around with a knife trying to murder black people because he thinks they're not human, because he's a racist. But a sociopath is also KTVU Channel 2 when they follow suit and then dehumanize the victim that's been murdered. Want to take it further? Like, who's out here the other night protecting these white supremacists that were over here on Telegraph Avenue? Oakland Police Department. Right? The normalization of anti-black or anti-human behavior is the very definition of a sociopath. So who are the people that function to support sociopaths? They too are sociopaths. Okay? So we're the Oakland Maroons Art Collective. I'm going to turn the mic over to my co-founder here, my cohort, artist Reefer One, and thank you for listening to me.
All power to the people. All power to the people. Right on. We got over 50 years of history in black self-determination here in Oakland. That's something to be proud of. A lot of brothers and sisters put their lives on the line against these sociopaths and to create programs for black people. It's important that we understand that and that we respect that. These are our seasoned veterans. Some of them are still alive. We have some in the audience here today too. And we need to make sure that we tap into that information. The black woman is sacred.
That's right!
Period. There is nothing random about a white man killing a black woman, especially a child. Nothing random about that. Like the brother just said, we live in a colony that was colonized by psychologically crazy people who run this government by force, that is controlled and maintaining a system of white supremacy. The whole entire system is crazy. The police department are sociopaths, governed by sociopaths. So when they try to throw that stuff in your face about crazy, let me explain this to you real easy. Only somebody who is sick, mentally deranged, and acting outside of human consciousness could enslave your ancestors, steal the land of indigenous people, and commit the acts of crime they did against them. So that's a no-brainer. No shit, they crazy. And so we know how to deal with crazy too, don't we? All right, and it requires us being organized. This shirt represents organization. Our organization, the Oakland Maroons, are artists of all disciplines committed to using our skill sets to get African people free and also connecting to the worldwide revolution. But we start with home first. And so anything that it is that you can do, brothers and sisters, it is important that you use those tools and those skills to get people free. And it works better when we do it in an organized fashion. We can't just get out here in the street with our emotions and our individual feelings, our individual ideas, and how we want to do things. We must balance those things based in principle, our culture, and each other as a family. We have to step up to the plate. We have to protect our women and our children. If we cannot make sure our women and our children are safe, your manhood is in question. Your womanhood is in question too. We have to protect each other, both ways. And we have to understand what that means. Because if I'm putting my body on the line between my sisters, the children, against those sociopath pigs across the street, you have to understand that I could lose my life. We have to move in a safe way. We can't let fear govern us. Organization decides everything. Our enemies are organized. In the prison system, the white supremacist alt-white groups, the white supremacist police station, and the white racist media. So understand that they may never do right by us at Fox News. Doesn't mean that our demands aren't legitimate. But we have to be our own media. We have to be our own security. We can't expect the pigs to put a manhunt out to get another pig when these same pigs have killed more brothers and sisters than these alt-white groups. The biggest white supremacist group in Oakland is OPD. And you had more of those pigs, some of which were murderers. I recognized them at the protest, protecting white supremacists than you had on the street looking for this devil to kill our little girl. Understand the contradiction. So we're not looking for them to do right by us. We're just identifying who they are, and we must organize ourselves accordingly. It requires organization, brothers and sisters, and I see a lot of young people out here. That's beautiful. None of you are too young to be involved. And that involvement sometimes is just a phone call, checking in on each other, making sure each other is safe. Black men, I'm not saying that you're not, especially the ones that are here, but we must put ourselves in a trustworthy position to make sure that even sisters who don't know us, that are strangers, can rely on us to be safe when they're out. They should be able to call upon you in a moment's notice. They should not have to rely on calling the police. They should be able to call the people in their community around. And if they don't know you, it's time for us to be neighborly, start introducing ourselves to people in the neighborhood. Hey, I'm your brother. You need to walk from bar at night, call me, or if I see you, where you going? So it's just a couple of blocks. Can I walk with you? Is that okay? Let's go. So there's many things we can do to keep each other safe. And if you don't know, organize with brothers who do. Sisters, same thing. We have to come together as a black family. Nia Wilson was our sister, our daughter too. Don't wait till this happens to your family. Her blood, her life is precious. It's precious. And we must move like she belonged to you, because she does. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Thank you. All power to the people.
One love.
Woo.
Great. Not doubt.
So, yeah, this is very powerful today, and it's going to resound, and it is resounding throughout this world, because you all are making sure that people see that Oakland ain't taking it. Today, we're not taking it. Next up, representing anybody habla español? Anybody? No? Okay, we have a few. So we know that as African-centered folks, we know that our struggle is not only on the blocks where we live, but this oppressor is all over this planet and has done this to African people and indigenous people and people of color all over this world. And we have black people all over this world. So representing for our brothers and sisters that speak Spanish, I have my sister from Cuba, Wanda Cruz. Show some love for Wanda. She's a dope hip-hop artist, by the way. If you haven't heard her music, you finna hear something. I don't know, you can do a poem or, you know.
Yeah, como dijo Teo, I am here because I am black. Doesn't matter where I come from. But I am from Cuba. Represent my Cuban people. I'm an immigrant. I live here in this country more than 10 years, and I saw what happened with the black people. And I am here to support. I am here for justice, for Nia Wilson, and I got to say un poema que yo escribí long time ago y still relevant for the black women. Negra mujer tema, presunto lema, cadena llena de murmuraciones, repetidas simulaciones introvertidas, muchas acosadas todas, acostumbradas al dolor, procreando para el mundo, entregando siempre amor. Humanitaria fuerza es y será oscura razón para seguir batallando, mujer, para seguir recolectando nuestras negras experiencias. No más doblegación, beber de esta fuente latente de inspiración. Hembra, negrera, afro-crudenta cubana es mi rima. Negra mujer en la cima de la heroicidad. Humilde comunidad emprendedora por siempre. A bombo canillé seguiré llamándote. Ven, mujer, ven a beber.
Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe.
Say your name. Say it loud. Say it like you mean it.
Nia Wilson.
As a person of color who is judged by his skin and by his context, I want to say to the family that I send my prayers and my love to you guys. That could have been any one of y'all standing here. Anyone. Now, this is not just a random thing. This thing has been going on for quite some time. You guys got to understand, it didn't just start with my situation at Lake Merritt. It started beyond Lake Merritt, before I was even born. And then it started happening again at Lake Merritt with the white guy throwing the homeless man stuff into the water. And then it went on to San Francisco with the lady calling the police on the 8-year-old girl for not having a permit. We have to be strong in our community. We have to stand up and take action now. This was it's been a double hate crime. You might say, what do I mean by being a double hate crime? There's been a double hate crime with the actual person not being charged for a hate crime, and then KTVU putting that picture out there. That is a hate crime.
That's right.
We need to actually stand up and take action right now. Because what if that happens again and they put that same picture on someone else? We need to stand up today and take action. Are you with me?
Yeah.
I said, are you with me?
Yes.
Are you really with me?
Yes.
Say her name.
Nia Wilson.
Say it again.
Nia Wilson.
Say it loud.
Nia Wilson.
Community, I love y'all. Be blessed. Yeah. Is Allegra here?
Here, brother.
Where's Sister Allegra at? How you doing?
I'm good, my brother.
Give thanks and praise.
All right. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Greetings from Sacramento, California and the Black Youth Leadership Project. We've got our kids out here on a social justice boot camp. And what about such a time as this? We're teaching them solidarity. My name is Allegra Taylor. I am the proud daughter of Hugo L.A. Pinell, the man that was killed in Folsom Prison in 2015. So everybody know the struggle continues. And I want everybody to say solidarity.
Solidarity.
Say solidarity.
Solidarity.
We want justice for Nia Wilson.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
We want them to stop exploiting our people on TV.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want people held accountable for the infractions against our people. Yes, we stand here and we stand strong. We never give up. We never turn around. We always stand proud. Stand up. Lift your head up. Be about the business of our people. We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. They are looking down upon us to see if we as a people will come together. Stop with all of the division. Brothers, you have been put on notice about the language in which you use against your sisters, your mothers. It's time for y'all to take a different position. We need you to do the right thing. We depend on you men to raise up. As we raise up, as we stand up, take on the mentality of the village. We encompass the village. And in the village, there's love. In the village, there's grace. In the village, we can agree to disagree and still walk in love for the purpose and the causes of our people. And until we get justice, we're going to keep on rising up. Everybody hear me? Are you going to sit down?
No.
Are y'all going to stop fighting?
No.
That's why we're here with you from Sacramento, California, to stand in solidarity. And even as we depart today, know this: Sacramento stands with Oakland.
That's right. That's right.
Blessings to all of you. Peace. Don't be moved by what we see. We know the royalty of blood of which we come from. We have no fear in man. We're not moved by what we see. We stand up, we move forward, and we take our positions. Get ready, y'all, because we on a roll. Blessings and peace to the family of Nia Wilson. Know that Sacramento stands with you.
Yes.
Peace.
Thank you. What I like about what she said is that we take our roles, because everybody have a role to play. Whatever it is, you have to be doing something actively. You got to be, you know what I'm saying? You can't, it's no longer, we don't have the luxury to sit around and wait for somebody else to do something else for our people. We have to stand up and do it now. So whatever it is, if you just tweeting it out or something, that's cool. But at some point, come from behind that cell phone, come from behind that keyboard and get out and make real physical connection with people and make some change happen. Some change can happen through the keyboards, it's cool, but we gotta actually do some real organizing. So we have just a couple more speakers, and then we're gonna take our message down to Channel 2. There's some people down there already waiting for us to get down there. We got some more artists, some more happenings down there, I'm saying, and we're gonna be out on the street. We're not walking on the sidewalk, we're gonna walk down the street, and Julius is up next. Where's Julius? What's up, Big Joke?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, he know.
Quick, I don't want to alarm nobody. I don't want to rile nobody up. But I want to just I just want to really provoke thought to all of us out here today. The sisters spoke about roles for the brothers and the roles for the sisters. I'm here to kind of elaborate more on what those roles are. Not necessarily for us, but how many of us go to church? Okay. How many was out there on Monday in downtown? Okay, who got pushed around? Who got pushed around, slammed, or anything like that? So my point is this: if these pastors was out here locking arms like they do when they burn down warehouses and stuff like that, they won't push these pastors around like that.
Say it again.
They won't push these pastors around like that. So everybody who go to church or anybody who has any type of religious institution that they subscribe to or attend, start having these conversations with y'all pastors. Who all know who T.D. Jakes is? Okay, good. So if it's on camera that all these police is pushing these pastors around, members of large faith-based organizations, you don't think word gonna get out? We got to get these pastors out here on the front lines. It's older women that was getting their feet ran over by police cars trying to take the young gentleman to jail who made the decision to pepper spray the police. That could have been my grandma. That could have been your mama. That could have been my auntie. I'm mad about it. But we got to start having these conversations in the church, because these pastors ought to be on the front line linked arms, and we ought to be behind them. And when they move out the way, then we gonna see who the brothers is who got the, you know, who about that life. We gonna see who the sisters are who about that life. But make these pastors stand in the gap like they get in the pulpit and say they gonna do. Stand in these gaps, because if any one of us do it, it's gonna make it look like we're controlling all these people. Start having these conversations with y'all pastors. Make them come out here. Make them stand in the gap. They ain't gonna shoot none of them, because they pastors. They got too big of a platform. But us, we targets. Make these pastors get their asses out here. I love y'all.
All right.
Yeah, thanks. I like that, because, you know, I think the black church needs to be relevant these days. You know, they've been losing their connection. They lost their way a little way, you know, so they do need to be out here on the front lines. Thank you for reminding us of that. So we have a couple more speakers, and then we're finna get on the road. We haven't heard from anyone we've been talking about, justice for Nia Wilson's family. We haven't heard from any of the family, so we're gonna make some room right now. One of the family members is a dope artist, poet. You might see him out at the different poet sessions throughout the city and throughout the Bay. So I want us to welcome to the mic Mr. Marcus West. A nephew and a cousin, and my new little bruh.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? Thank everybody for coming out and supporting our family and supporting this horrific, you know, situation that we're going through as a nation. And I'm just trying to be out here to support my family and all black people that's going through this. You know, I would have never thought that our family would have had to go through something tragic like this, and it's very surprising to me. I don't understand, you know, where's your soul at? You feel me? Where's your spirit? Where your heart? You feel me? To come and kill my cousin like that. That was so brutal. So my question to everybody is like, where your heart? Where your spirit? You know, why was you on a platform just recording my cousin? You know, why you didn't do nothing? Why you didn't help? Where your soul? You feel what I'm saying? Where your spirit at? You feel me? And that's with everybody. And like to the media and everything like that, it's like, what kind of human are we? Are we human too? I thought aren't we human too? Why are we treated differently then? This is not a black and white thing. This is a human thing. Where, you feel me? Where's your...
Get that shit out. It's all right.
Have you ever read the Willie Lynch letters?
Yes.
The making of a slave, how to control us forever. Separate the family so we can grow together. Naturally broken, depend on whites forever. I'm talking light versus dark, shade versus shade, man versus woman, age versus age. Treat house nigga different from field nigga. Distrust all niggas cause all niggas are slaves. They took our will, broke us like a horse, changed our lifestyle, made us run their course. Long range economic slaves was the source. For future generations, grandpa made the choice. For fear that you may not understand the principles of breaking the horse and the man. Keep the body, take the mind of the real man. Shall raise the infants to follow your plan. Man raised mentally weak, physically strong. Women raised independent, take care of her own. Break it down, got in the field, days was long. Singing spiritual songs, praying to God, take me home. We need to open our minds and think for ourselves. Open our eyes, pay attention to detail. Since we've been here, they haven't treated us well. Their American dream is black American hell. Still, we sit and dwell as cops kill and tell how they scared of blacks. Then he makes bail. We seen the footage, heard all the intel. You got your gun. We started to run. Blow, he fell. Is it justice or else, or we out for self? We need to come together, shit we not doing well. Don't be scared, don't be afraid to fail. Fear is only false evidence appearing real. That's behavior of a slave mentality. Our worst nightmare has become reality. We speak peace, they speak brutality. Don't expect nothing in the land of savagery. History of genocide and mass casualty. First they raised war on our people and our spirituality. History of genocides and mass casualties. Man.
That's it, bro. Come on, Marcus. Come on, Marcus. Yeah.
That's the finish.
Yeah. It's okay, Mike. Yes. Take your time. You need some water?
Y'all not some real niggas, y'all some real wannabes. Talk about freedom with no action to proceed. Black man with gun kill someone like me. Slave catchers come around, you drop to your knees, bitch, please. I'm not gonna turn the other cheek. Actions talk louder than words, so don't speak. To learn is to earn, study from being weak. Blacks is under siege, getting killed every week by evil oppressors with no remorse in what they seek. Tell lies to your vision so your mind they critique. Use computers, control all and delete any dreams or admirations one day of being free. I'm a black sheep, against the grain is how I think. Don't trust your lies no more. I trust my instincts. Can't look me in my eye without a stutter or a blink. Loose lips finna have your whole cruise ship sink. Cops kill niggas then laugh like it's a prank. We get numb to the pain when you constantly being spanked. Do ones to others as you would is what I think. So it's eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, blank for blank. Bullets ain't got no names, the news can fill in the blank. Black power.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Because this is real, y'all. This is real. The emotion is real. We're going to have one of our elected officials speak. You know, this has affected all of us. We represent many different aspects of the community, not only artists and not only cultural artists. We got hip-hop artists, Grammy Award winners. Dwayne Wiggins is behind this. Fantastic Negrito Boots. Riley, these shirts were made by Isu, by the way. This is all donated to the family, so just so you know that, through Samba Funk and Caribe Link and Isu, we all donated these all. These are not for sale. They're just to give away, to commemorate the struggle and to put a face on what we're doing today. We're going to ask a champion for freedom and a voice for working class, black, female, all people of color that's trying to make it today in Oakland and live and survive. Miss Desley Brooks. Y'all know Desley, come on. If you got one person on council that's going to stand up for you and us, come on now.
I want to thank you all for coming out today because this is so important. When I thought about what happened at KTVU, I thought about a friend of mine, an artist, Ice Life, who does a piece called Is Everybody Stupid? Because that's what KTVU would have us believe, that we're all stupid, to believe that it wasn't intentional that they put that photo on the news. It was intentional when somebody went to her Facebook page to look for the picture because they didn't have it. It was intentional when they showed that photo to somebody and got the okay to put it on the air because they didn't have it. It was intentional when they put it on the air and thought that we would just let them say that they're sorry. It's a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was intentional. And we need to hold them accountable because too often in Oakland, the African American community allows people to say we're sorry. And we go on business as usual. We need to understand that it's not just KTVU, but it's the media. Because they would have us believe in their word choice that this is an incident that happened by someone who's mentally ill. We don't know that. What he did was crazy, no doubt. Absolutely, but we don't know that he's crazy. And so we should not accept that terminology because that could be a defense. And we have to understand when they talk that they are trying to subliminally program us to expect outcomes. And we can't allow that to happen. We have got to demand that they start treating the African American community and communities of color with respect. And they have been disrespectful. It was disrespectful for them to parade somebody out who has black adopted children to give the black community an apology. We do not accept your apology. We do not accept your apology. And we need to let them know that no longer in the city of Oakland will black people, people of color, people who have been marginalized, sit and allow people to simply say they're sorry. Not good enough. Not good enough. And so for Nia and all the people who she represents today, we need to not just come out today and hold rallies and do marches. We've got to hold them accountable. We can do it. We can do it, and we've got to do it. If we're going to be in this city, we've got to stand up. We've got to stand up, and we've got to push all the way back. That's right. All the way back. Thank you. All right.
It's really not much to talk about. What we need to do, we know what we need to do as far as addressing what has to be happening. As far as us going down here and making sure that not just justice is served, but we don't continue to be programmed into accepting certain things. Like my the lovely Miss Destiny said, I feel like 2018 and we still have to march, or we still have to fight for civil rights. I feel like it's like something that I'm just like, yo, we over that. Our main thing now is, dude, this is what's gonna have to happen. We're not accepting nothing less. We pushing our line, and this what has to happen. We're not going for the, okay, yeah, here we go, here goes some settlement money, here this, here we start, nah. Let's go and really make a difference. But it starts with us in the community as a people. It starts with us building back and communicating with each other. To the men, and I want to say this to the men, us taking the initiative to protect our sisters, to protect our daughters, not just your personal sister, not just your personal daughter. I'm talking about the little girl that walked by that you don't say hello to, that you don't say how you doing to.
Right.
The elderly woman that walked by and you don't say how you doing, ma'am. That sister that get on a train that you don't get up for. That house you walk in and you don't take your hat off on. When Granny House had you had to sit on that plastic part.
Come on, remind us.
We got to get back to respecting the women in our area, in our self, in our life, in our circles. Because that's where it starts. Because there's no way that when I even looked at some of the footage that was released, I saw males on that platform standing there with cameras. Standing there just looking. It's no way possible that as a black male, you watch somebody assault, attack, assassinate, murder a baby, and you just stand there. You don't make an attempt to do nothing. You don't follow them out. We got to do a better job of protecting each other. And it started here. It started with the young males having a better job to say, man, hold on. That's my sister. Like, oh, y'all got the same mama? No, we don't got the same nothing. We got the same pigmentation.
Come on. Yeah.
That's what my affiliation is to. I'm not here to offend no person outside of the black race. But as an obligation, my affiliation is to my pigmentation. I'm black by nature, I'm black by birth, I'm black by burden. And that burden, we carry that all together, and we gotta continue to let them know, dude, hold on. You my brother, you my sister. We gotta make each other better. We gotta help each other. We can't keep expecting these white folks or these other folks to do us better and treat us better than we treat us. And I'm not here to push a racist issue. That's not my thing. I love people of all color. I love people from all walks of life. But I can't expect you to treat me better than I treat my own people. How is it when we see one of each other, we be like, what's up, my nigga? But as soon as we see somebody else, hey, how you doing, sir? That's the craziest thing to me. Real, what's up, ma'am? Then the deaf would be like, oh, what's up with a bitch? We gotta treat each other better, man. As a people, until we gotta treat each other better. We can't keep looking for nobody else to treat us right. We done been here damn near 500 years and they ain't treated us right yet. That's just here. We've been getting treated the short end of the stick for several years. We gotta start treating each other better. Brothers, every female that speaks to you don't want to have sex with you. And sister, every man that talk to you ain't trying to do nothing to you.
Say that. Come on.
We just speaking as a people. Hey, how you doing? We got to get back to, hey, how you doing? What's going on? My mama and them. Y'all good? That's how we got to get back to each other. Them communities, them villages. It's time that we start rebuilding the huts. We start rebuilding the villages. We replenish the community. We give back to the community. I'm not looking for no loans from nobody else to help my folks. I'm going to go broke on my own to help my people. I'm going to throw every fishing pole and everything in the water to help my folks. And until we feel that same way as a collective, they going to keep treating us like they don't give a fuck. Because they don't. I just want to say this, man, and if y'all can follow me and y'all feel this way, and to the kids out here, pardon my language, but if you give a fuck, man, say, I give a fuck.
I give a fuck.
And I ain't giving up on my people, man. To the little sisters that have to see this, I can't give you an apology. I can't tell you to not feel a certain way about somebody. I can't explain how I feel. To Brother Ansar, man, I try to put myself in his shoes and I couldn't walk.
Say that.
I woke up this morning and I hugged my daughter. I went to sleep with my daughter in my bed and I woke up with her and I hugged her this morning and all that was in my mind was, man, what if? Don't wait till that if happened to you for you to care. And I gotta wrap it up, man, but like my purpose wasn't here, like I'm not here I ain't here for the headlines. I'm here for the healing, man. Some people do things for the headlines, some people do things for the healing. I don't want to get to talking about, oh yeah, if you need me, call me. Nah, man. I'm in the same place all the time, and I'm always making myself available to whatever the people need. Like I say, I go broke for my folks. That's where my passion at. I ain't here to be on Channel 2 News. I ain't here to be on whatever Tribune 9, man. I'm here for them people. I went straight to Brother Ansar, straight to the mama, little sis. Just tell me what I gotta do. Right. Tell me what I gotta do. And I'm doing it. I got a call this morning, brother, we need you on 14th. I'll be there. But come to the I'll be there. If you need some money for whatever I could do, I'm there. Within my doing, I ain't gonna say I can do more than I can do. But for my folks, I'm going all the way out. Amen. I'm gonna find a way. Right. Cause I give a fuck. You got your way. Y'all have a good day.
So with that, we're gonna take it up a notch and take this to the folks that actually did the wrong, the harm. Yeah. Part of the reason why we're here. Yeah. You know, and we're gonna keep it moving. Today is just the beginning of something, and then when we get over there, we're gonna take it to a whole nother level and share with them our demands and what we want and what we want to see happen, and keep it moving. So the drummers are going to be lined up here, and we want to have... Nia Wilson! Say her name! 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 Nia Wilson!
Hold up. So this brother, hold up. So this brother right here, he said he's going to let some of the family members come in and speak with them, and a small delegation of folks to come in with them. What's up?
He's here right now. They figuring it out. He's here right now.
Hey, Theo. Hey, they there right now at the gate.
Nah, that's just Paul Chambers. That's just Paul Chambers.
No, they got a plan for that.
Ansar got a plan.
I'm her sister.
See, if you was attached to the story in any way, you would know who she is. I'm just being honest with you.
I was attached to the story, but what I'm saying to you is this. Hold on.
You go outside your building.
You got all these speakers.
Why do we got to sit outside?
What I can do is get my boss to figure out who they only wanted a small group of people.
We already know.
Can I say something? Let me say something. I need to know who's right. Hold on. Let me say something. We already talked. The root of it got to do with who owns the station, right? And the chief editor, period. Chief editor got to step up to the plate because that's where it all falls on the chief editor. So somebody got to step up from there. Represent. How did you let this get out? Period.
And we talked to Amber this morning, so she just needs to go in.
What's your name? Theo, okay, Theo, yeah. This isn't helping. I mean, they're not going to want to talk to me. They need to come.
We don't enough. Like we just talked to.
They're not going to hear the people's demand. They're not going to what? With them yelling at? I can just tell me who you want.
No, she can't tell you that.
All right.
Me and this brother can tell you that.
Theo.
Family right now, not dealing with y'all directly right now.
But that's what they're asking. So I'm confused. That's what I'm asking.
I'm giving you clarity, so therefore.
Like there's three people talking, so I'm trying to understand. So I listen to you, but I'm trying to listen to everybody at one time.
Me and these two brothers coming in. That's it. And we're gonna deal with this. I think they're going to want to only talk to the families. What they think.
They are the family.
This is exactly.
That is.
We represent the family.
I understand. Look,
okay, well then that's fine. Tell them we understand that they don't want to talk to us at this time, and then we'll make other arrangements to talk to them.
Let me tell you.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Ansel Muhammad.
I'm Paul.
Paul, it's a pleasure to meet you.
This where it says.
We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, here's
we tried to talk to him. Tell them straight up.
I appreciate that.
You gotta talk to their lawyer. That's who you gotta talk to.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to get them to know.
Since you're the translator, you're the messenger, and I understand the position that you're in, and I respect that. But just respect that if they don't want to come out here and talk to us and want to dictate the terms and do all that, fuck that. We're not with none of that. Well, right now, if they don't want us two to go in there to give them these demands, what they want, and they can't even approach it, then what we'll do is communicate right here and be here. And just show and force that you don't want to come to the table. This is your house. This is your door. Somebody come to my door, I'm going to come to the door and say, how are you? I'm not going to send the servant. I'm gonna come to the door. Yes. So you in the position of being a servant. If you understand that, then you can translate that to them that don't even look good or look right. And you wouldn't even want that for your own child. So we're not gonna pacify shit, bro. When I'm saying to you, the demand is either me and this brother go in here and speak to them. If they don't want to talk, we family. Yeah. Ain't no dividing none of that shit. That shit don't work. So when I'm saying that the only alternative, you saying yeah, you shitting or you getting out the pot. You taking us in there right now to deal with this, or you not. And your black face looking like mine with the same bald head ain't changing none of that, because it's the mind, and the mind ain't in sync with what I'm saying to you, brother. You need to go in there and tell them people it's only 2 men it's only 2 men that you're going to talk to right now. If that's sufficient, then fine. If not, then it's so be it. We'll let the chips fall where they may. We don't have to waste your time, and you don't have to waste ours. But that's what we're talking about. And ain't nothing else to be said after that. That's it. I'll make whatever movie you gonna make. Let's keep it.
Justice for Nia! 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 What do we want? Justice for Nia! Why are we here? Justice for Nia! What do we want? Justice for Nia! Why are we here?
When I say what do we want, we're going to say legally
there's opposition now. So since there's opposition, we'll just deal with it as with a meeting legally to come to the table and resolve it. We ain't got nothing to talk about. It's like we're talking
We will not rest until KTVU is out here in the front. Listen to our demands for the people. What do we want? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? Now! What?
Support. I think everybody should come in to support. You know what I'm saying? Please find it in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Your soul to think about this whole tragic situation in this incident. You feel me? Everything could have been changed. You know what I'm saying? And everything could have been better. We could do things way better as a people, as a unit, as one. But we sitting up here fighting and bickering amongst each other. But when we can come together as one, you feel me? Not as black, white, but as one, as humans. This shit is foul. It's very foul. It's not right. You know what I'm saying? It's unfair. Nobody should be able to go through this. This is a tragic event on my family and on the nation and as humans. Once again, as humans. You dig? As humans. Where's your soul? Where's your spirit? You know what I'm saying? No, whoever up in the building, where was your soul when you was thumbing through them pictures? And how did you pick that one out of all motherfucking pictures? You feel me? Out of millions of them. Look at it all around, all the million pictures that's out here. She's a beautiful young lady and you chose that one? You foul. Where's your soul? Where's your spirit? Again, I ask you that. You feel what I'm saying? And to the dude that did this to my cousin, where your soul? Where your spirit at? How you stalk him down and run him down like that, bro? You foul, bro. You foul. You feel what I'm saying? To everybody you been watching this, but ask yourself, bro, where your spirit at? To the dude who was videotaping this shit and didn't do shit, but where was your spirit at? Where's your soul at? You feel what I'm saying? How you just let motherfuckers get away like that? To everybody that was watching that, where your spirit at with your soul? Y'all not journalists. That's not y'all job. You feel what I'm saying? Where's your humane nature at? You feel what I'm saying? I don't know too much what else to say. Think about that shit. Think about it.
Thank you, brother. So I wanted to further reiterate to y'all how important it is to have pastors out here. We had to call a black man out of his business. Not saying he's not for the people, he's for the people. But we had to call a black man out of his business, interrupt his livelihood to come negotiate for these motherfuckers. And it should be pastors out here negotiating for our safety. Pastors out here negotiating for justice. It should be pastors out here hugging folk and letting folk know I'm out here to fight with you. Not come to church on Sunday, let me pray with you. Half the people who give money in church is probably standing right out here right now. And by the time you get to church on Sunday, this will not be a thought to the pastors. It won't be a thought. But we out here, it's plenty of people out here that got jobs, and y'all off y'all jobs. It's pastors up there sitting in their office. The pastors are supposed to be out here negotiating with these people. They supposed to be out here tending to us, not praying. They supposed to be negotiating this. When that shit took place on Monday, I can guarantee you they wouldn't have got out there and pushed them pastors around. We grieving. How many of y'all did this hurt? Even on a larger scale, when was the last time you remember a white supremacist attack in Oakland? It was hella long ago, right? Well, not too long ago, an 18-year-old girl got her throat sliced by a white supremacist at BART. And it's 2018. Shit ain't funny no more.
Shit ain't changed.
Shit ain't changed and shit ain't funny no more. All the money that the people give in church, stop giving that money and give them to black-owned businesses. Black-owned businesses is places where you can run into when these motherfucking cops is chasing you down like Hasta Muerte. All these other places ain't gonna open their doors because they scared. And places like Dope Air that's gonna open their doors when shit is going down because they protecting the people. But these pastors, if they not out here on the front line, it ain't gonna be no more praying at these community vigils. The streets don't want it. We want action. Justice for Nia!
Justice for Nia!
Straight like that. And justice for Latifah. She was starred in all of this too. Justice for Nia!
Justice for Nia!
Justice for Latifah!
Justice for Latifah!
Justice. We want justice for the family. We want justice for men. Justice for the people. What do we want? Justice. Where do we want it? What do we want? Justice. Where do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice.
Everybody repeat after me. KTV, you check yourself. KTV, you check
just take what you see. Because they should have, as they took the picture down and apologized for Nia, they should have put the other picture up of the coward with the gold teeth and the gold chain and mean mugging the camera in a house to show that he ain't homeless. They should have did that. So that's what brought me. Somebody commented on my thing saying, oh, they doing something, they marching the KTVU news, because I posted FKTVU news. Don't support them, because I used to watch them every morning. I'm not with them no more because they about some BS. And I said, F them, and anybody that supports them or watch them, F you too. Because we got to stand together, period. It's getting worse and worse. Count down the days and the times. It's getting worse and worse. We can't even get people to stop watching football. We should have way more people down here than this. I don't know how long this was organized. I wish y'all start tagging me to my Facebook posts. It's David Ward. I got plenty of followers and friends. I got motorcycle clubs behind me, or whatever the case may be. Tag me in this stuff. I will have people down here, period. So I just wanted to get there and say my 2 cents and let y'all know, people, we have to wake up, period. Wake up. Justice for Miss Nia. And I see her sister over there. God bless you. And I can't imagine the pain that you're going through to have been there. And if the parents is here, all of y'all, the family, God bless y'all. I'm praying with y'all, period.
I gotta run.
Why we are actually here today, we're going to get this documented to our people that are actually watching. They're going to do this right here in front of her mural. That this beautiful piece that we have here, they are not coming out. They do want to speak directly with the parents. As a family, we are all unified together, and the parents do not want to have that conversation right now at this time. They are not available for that conversation, but in the future, that definitely is something that is possible. What we are going to do right now is have a wonderful interview in regards to how we're feeling and the direction that we want in regards to these changes. So the family standing united, we are all here. Unfortunately, they didn't want to take the opportunity to come out. However, the brother did come out to have dialogue with us to help have a resolution to the situation. However, for us, there is no real resolution in that regard other than policy changes, how you go about reflecting us as a people in the imagery of media. So until they actually have some sort of system in place to be very mindful and supportive of that, it's going to be an issue. So we don't hope. We make requests, demands, and we act on everything. So we are looking forward to them having a resolve internally to their bullshit, and most definitely having a greater sentiment when they're reflecting all ethnicities of people, and they're reflecting us in the community in any form, that they're respectful and that they have people within themselves policing their own policies as opposed to offending us as a community. So we're going to go ahead and allow Mr. F.A.B. and the gentleman to have this interview with KTVU at this time. And we need all the people with the shirts that have the shirts on, the family, and everyone to be over here at the mural.
He wants everyone with the shirts behind them for the interview.
Thank you, sir.
So if you have a shirt on it, once you're behind for the interview.
Behind the family. Where's F.A.B. at? Right here. Right here. Okay. Deal. Yeah. Okay.
Bring the chair right here.
and everyone over at the KTVU staff for someone to come out and be accountable for the displacement and the defamation of character. And we wish to impose agendas and policies that is a reflection of the community instead of personal solutions and personal creativity. Whoever gave the person the go-ahead for putting that young sister up there with of what is to be misinterpreted as a pistol and a gun, which automatically flips the narrative. We're dealing with a victim here. We're not dealing with a suspect.
That's right.
The criminalization of us as a people have already gone on far too long. And for us to be out, to be vividly put out and criminalized when we're in the hurting, when we're being victimized, for us to be painted in that image is an obvious disrespect. It's a slap in the face not only to the family, but to millions of girls and young black people out here who have been on the end of this. That is countless going on. The grafting of us. Every black man in a hoodie is not robbing somebody. Every young sister who is posing and she had over 200, 300 pictures on her Instagram. Why is this the only photo that was taken? We have pictures of this sister in dashikis. We have pictures of this sister in dresses, being beautiful as possible. Why is this picture the only picture that gets put up? Then on the return end, we take a mugshot from this guy. When this guy has been seen on Facebook dropping countless N-bombs, drugs, all kind of things, the swastikas. This guy is responsible of several images. Why weren't any of those images put up on him? We know why. How on purpose of an accident could this be? And as we stand here in front of KTVU, our only request was for Miss Amber to come out and address us. You can't publicly humiliate us and then privately apologize. Speed. You know, can you be held accountable? Today it's not about us coming out and trying to burn down some things or turn this rally into a riot. Not today. It's not our purpose at all. Our purpose is to be addressed as humans after we've been dehumanized.
People that look like us, people of color, we understand what this means. Explain to people who don't understand. That's the ones we need to talk to. That's the ones who are perpetrating this negative constantly.
What is happening right now in America, all over America, is that black people are being viewed as a problem. And it seems like they're trying to do some race cleansing. And it's unfortunate because if you don't understand, if a burden of your skin color, or is your skin color a burden, then you would never understand. I can't expect you to relate if you've never been pulled over in a new car and asked, do you have license or registrations, or are you on probation? Y'all don't ask them that when y'all pull them over. If you've never been racially profiled because of the pigmentation of your skin, if you don't know what it's like when you have to go somewhere and they question, why are you here? When you live in a good environment, a good a community, or what they would call an upscale community, and they pull you over and say, so what are you doing over here? I live here. You don't ask anybody else that. This is what you have to understand. And for those that don't understand that, it's because they haven't been through that. Do you know what it's like to cut on your TV as a father and see a young black female murdered by a white racist, which was racially driven? I can't say no other way. In my mind, and the reason why I don't want to make this seem about my personal perception of things, but if you look at what he was doing, and when you look at all the things else on his Facebook, I checked his Facebook, they erased his Facebook now. His Facebook has been erased. Wow. But if you go look at his Facebook, his addiction to our culture, his addiction to wanting to be accepted, gold teeth, and whatever the hip hop image of what they would like to say. It's just sad, man, to see he's not painted in that. They don't make him seem like a thug. Why they didn't post some of the videos of him dropping N-bombs to let us know? Because now what they're gonna push for, Paul, and you know this just as well as I know this, just as well as everyone else knows this, they're gonna push for some mentally challenged. They're going to say that he has some mental inefficiencies that won't allow him to be tried as sane. He's going to go push for insanity. And I'm a firm believer in mental illness, and I do believe that there are people who suffer from mental illness. But there's a difference between being on drugs. It's a difference between having hate, having malice in your heart. It's a difference between being evil and pointing the direction of where this is. And all we ask as a people, and this is directly coming from the family and more than just an apology. We want to see the Nia Wilson scholarships. We want to see some things on behalf of the KTVU staff addressing what's going on and protecting our young girls. As black men of the community, we want to be able to be in a position to protect our women a little bit better, and a lot of bit better. We want to be able to have more things to some agendas, and we want to see more black faces up on here. Why is it every time it's a black involved, a community involving blacks and race relationships, they send you out? There's no disrespect to you, but I know that it has to be lonely and has to get tired of being a token blackie to come out anytime it's some black just because they afraid to come to the gate to talk to us. Speak, brother. So that has to look in the mirror when we say, man, well, can we have some intern programs where we could get some of the young brothers and young sisters to come in here?
Come on now.
So the news can actually be news.
Yes. Instead of propaganda.
You know what I'm saying? Something that's directly addressing the issues in the communities. And furthermore, when you sit up here, don't put us in a disarray. Don't make us look like the problem. Don't make us look like every time that we rallying on truth, that is some type of fictitious ulterior motive for us to be out here. We're not looking here to hurt nobody. You shouldn't feel that your life or that a corporate shouldn't feel like they're in danger. Nah, we just want to talk. We want you to publicly address us, not privately. I have a DM in my phone right now, and this is from Amber. And if she can do this, just so you can see it, Paul. Ooh. This is a DM from her, and it says, there was only one person involved who made a horrible decision in a split second. When we saw it on TV a few minutes later, it was immediately removed and we took action. Stuff I can't get into because it's a personal matter. Now, it's not an excuse, just an explanation. I'm so sorry it happened, and I know there's nothing I can say to make it better, but I wanted to respond to you anyway. Have a good night. Sincerely, Amber.
Where you at, Amber?
Where you at?
Where's Amber?
Where you at, Amber?
So, if you can privately DM this to someone, why can't you publicly come and trust that to us? Coward. We're not looking to hurt you.
Scary ass.
But about us being hurt. About the physically harmed. About the parents. About the sisters. We not worthy of that? We not worthy of you publicly coming out here, physically being out here? That sends you though, P. Go out there, you black, they ain't gonna do nothing to you. That's crazy. So they put you on the front line. So you Christmas addicts.
Wow. Let me step out real quick. I wanted to cover this.
Of course you did.
I did.
Of course.
I wanted to.
You always do. But at the end of the day, we gotta bring them out here too. Someone has to be held accountable.
Him or Frank?
Somebody has to be held accountable for the injustices that's going on and for the direct humiliation of our people. It's us. If this doesn't infuriate you, then I'm sorry, your passions aren't our passions.
Are you saying doesn't infuriate me? You know it does.
I'm not talking to you directly. I'm talking to the people and anyone who may be watching this, anyone that may see this, to any black man out there that has a daughter. And let's remove color. To any man that has a daughter. Imagine you getting a phone call that your daughter was murdered and assassinated, and someone just walked away. You were mentally competent enough to change clothes and put the knife away.
People wipe the blood off the knife too.
And that alone is what. So now it's addressing me because as I speak about it, I wake up and hug my daughter every day. Brother Ansar can't hug that daughter anymore. He has to live vicariously through his other children. And the family stands on solidarity. What they're going to do is try to mix up the family and seem as if it's just different opinions from different men because there's different mothers involved. Nah, it's one thought. And the thought is it needs to be some justice brought forth. There needs to be some public clearing up of what's going on. We want Amber to come out here and speak for herself. Don't just sing your soldiers, Amber. Let's talk. We can create sensible dialogue. We aren't animals. We aren't savages. You don't think that we're competent enough to hold ourselves in regards to where we're going to keep it peaceful and respectful? We human as you are. Don't put a fence up against us. Because now we don't know if that fence was to keep us out or to keep y'all protected. And if you feel that a need for protection, why do you feel that way? We sensible. For many years we've been fighting for civil rights. You know what that means? That means we've been fighting for somebody to be civil with us. Uncivil. Uncivil as if you're barbaric. If you look at us like barbaric in 2018, what has changed? The marches of Malcolm and Martin, what has changed? If we still have to fight for civil rights, if we still have to fight for a level of basic competence, to be understood, to be heard, to be felt, for our passions to be understood. You see this sister right here got stabbed in her neck. 72 hours not removed. And she out here on the front line. Risking anything, risking inflation, risking all type of things being out here. She's supposed to be on campus right now.
His footage, play his whole entire speech. Right now. Don't edit nothing. Play the whole thing.
All we ask is that we just put this on the table. Put this on the table. And the brother Theo put together a list of demands from the family's behalf, for the community's behalf, and it's 1 through 6. Our main thing, one is no important than the other, but if it was only one that you guys let air, because we know it's going to be a lot of editing done, is that you demonstrated accountability by terminating the reporter or the producer responsible for that segment.
Yes.
And that the decision makes it to be identified and to be terminated. That we wish whoever it is, because even in the text message that she sent via DM, through Instagram, she put the heinous crime on someone else. And we're looking at it as a crime. She put that on, there was someone who was responsible for that. We want that person identified, and we want that person to be released and relieved of their positions at this KTVU. Because we are too deep into our race relations, our political stance of what we do in this situation in America to afford a foolish mistake like that to go public. That is a primitive decision that someone made. And we are too progressed as a people for someone to allow that to happen. So for that to happen, we want that to be addressed. And that individual be brought forth. Because accidents could get you fired in other workforce.
Okay now.
Unless you're protecting someone.
Or back in that play.
Or you're back in that play. And second of all, we would love to see a Nia Wilson Foundation scholarship implemented for some of the sisters that's going out, whatever they're doing in their life, to help curate whatever it is that they want to push forward. Because it's time that we protect each other. It's time that we heal each other and we continue to give opportunities. And wherever the bar police was, we definitely need to know that because there's so much money going to them.
Matter of fact, why isn't the bar still open running when my sister got murdered?
It's so much going on with them. Why are they not surveilling the platforms? Why are they not surveilling with the surveillance at every station physically?
Why they not doing jobs? Why they continue to and it's not even safe for us to ride? Yeah. How was he able to get back on board and y'all didn't catch him on camera?
Right. Yeah.
He was called by a train.
He gotta get a ticket. He gotta go through the emergency exit.
Yeah,
Over,
but they still didn't say nothing to him.
Right. Why is bar still open? Y'all just let her murder just go by like it is up. Somebody got killed up next day. Up and running. That really pisses me off to see people walk past that candlelight at MacArthur Bar, getting off bar, getting on bar, just passing by her candlelight. You get out my face.
That's right.
But there's a list of demands, man, Paul, that we just wish that can be honored, can be brought about publicly, because we need this in the corporate face. We need them to understand that. And it's unfortunate that news is negative entertainment we all see. NEWS. Negative entertainment we all see. Positive images seem to be erased always. There's one more thing on this thing that I wish to address. Expeditiously create a policy that KTVU implements to ensure that the sort of racism, the imagery and language, and messing never happens ever. Meaning we create this pulpit of people who makes decisions that involves multiracial people. So we just don't go out and we could, before the news even reaches the public, wait, hold on. Let's clarify that content. Let's look at that. Let's proofread that. Because if another mistake like this happens, we don't understand if this could just be a rally. We're trying to rally, we're not trying to riot. There's only so much that we can take as a people. How long do we continue to have to endure the hardships of mistakes, accidents? That leads to the defamation of our character and our people. We gotta see that. We gotta look at that every day. That image can never be replaced. Blind spotting. Blind spotting of once you see something, you're blind to anything else that a person will be. We got to give our children room to grow. We got to give our kids a platform where they continue to excel and progress. If Malcolm would have died at 20 years old, he would have been known as a womanizer or a pimp. Got to give room to grow. So don't paint us in them images, because those images give us ceilings. When you put that ceiling on something, there's no more room to grow. Let us evolve. Let us be great. Let's be who we are. Protect our babies, man. We done.